Hi, my name is Deirdre and I'm a professional astrologer. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about the value of personalized astrology readings. But first, let's take a step back and talk about what astrology actually is. Many people first become aware of astrology by reading their horoscope in a local newspaper or magazine. Your horoscope is generally based on your sun sign, sometimes referred to as your zodiac sign or your star sign. There are 12 zodiac signs, and the most common criticism that I hear about astrology is, how could there only be 12 personalities? Well, if you were to dig deeper into the study of astrology, you would realize that your sun sign is just one small piece of your astrological makeup. If someone says, "I'm a Leo," they're usually talking about their sun sign, which simply means that the sun was aligned with the constellation of Leo at the time of their birth. So yes, there are 12 possible sun signs, but the planets, the moon, and even certain comets all have specific positions in the zodiac at the time that you were born. And the placement of all of these objects in the sky come together to create a blueprint that uniquely describes you. Let's talk about an example. Perhaps the sun was in the sign of Capricorn at the time that you were born. Capricorn is very structured, driven, and practical. So since the sun represents your overall personality in astrology, you might come off as a relatively serious person. However, let's say that the moon was in the sign of Cancer at the time that you were born. Cancer is a more emotional sign. Cancers are nurturing and intuitive. And since the moon represents the inner you and your emotional side, then you might have a softer side under that hard Capricorn exterior. So you see, if you only looked at your sun in Capricorn or your moon in Cancer, you wouldn't get the full picture of who you truly are. The truth is, we're all complicated, multifaceted beings, and just one archetype could never completely describe you. Like the poet Walt Whitman said in Leaves of Grass, "I am large, I contain multitudes." So astrology gets that you could be a hardworking boss Capricorn, but at the same time, you can be a soft-hearted Cancer who wants nothing more than to take care of the people closest to you. That's why astrology is so powerful. It goes deep into who you truly are. Now let's talk about personalized astrology readings and how they can provide guidance. During a personalized astrology reading, a professional astrologer like myself would use your time, date, and location of birth to pull up your astrological birth chart. A birth chart, or what's sometimes called a natal chart, is essentially a map of the sky at the time that you were born. So it shows the position of the sun, moon, planets, and other objects in the sky at the exact moment that you came into the world. The planets and different areas of the chart represent different aspects of your life. So as a professional astrologer, I can look at someone's birth chart and tell how they might act in their relationships with other people, what career they might be interested in, and what their style of working is. How do resources play a role in their life? Are they conservative with their resources, or do they like to indulge a little bit? Our birth charts hold so much valuable information. They tell us what our unique talents are, what struggles we might face, and what our overall purpose is in being here. A personalized astrology reading can help you answer specific questions about things like love or money. But it can also provide overarching guidance about what your purpose is. What are you here to do, and how are you going to accomplish it? I first became interested in astrology about 10 years ago. I was working at a job that I really didn't love, and I was wondering what my life would look like. Who was I, and what did my future hold? So one day, I started reading more about my sun sign. I knew that I was an Aquarius, but I never really knew what that meant. I would just read my horoscope once in a while in the paper when I was having my morning coffee. But once I started reading about Aquarius, I could not stop. I was absolutely hooked. Everything made so much sense, and I felt so seen. As I dug deeper into astrology, I continued to be amazed by the messages held in the stars. Over the years, I've tried other spiritual practices like reading tarot cards, and I've found them to be incredibly helpful tools. But something about astrology has always been different for me. As I started reading about the signs and the planets, it didn't feel like I was learning. It felt like I was remembering. It felt like I was uncovering information that somehow lay dormant in my system. I'm extremely passionate about sharing the power of astrology with other people. Reading birth charts is one of my favorite things to do. There's nothing better than meeting with a client and seeing their face light up as they realize what the cosmos has in store for them. Of course, you can look up your own birth chart and try to interpret all of your planetary placements on your own. You can Google things and try to figure it out. But astrology is very deep. The angles between the different planets have meanings. Even the exact degrees of your placements have significance. And that's why it's so helpful to have a professional astrologer provide a custom reading for you. I even recommend that professional astrologers hire other astrologers to read their birth charts. It's incredibly helpful to have somebody else, somebody who doesn't know you, tell you about yourself. Because if you start researching your birth chart and looking up your planetary placements, it's just like looking up symptoms on WebMD. You're going to find a way to scare yourself and reinforce all of your insecurities. So, if you're feeling stuck or frustrated, if you feel like your life is lacking direction, a personalized astrology reading could be just the thing that you need to get inspired again, to help you make that decision with confidence, to help you get back on track. You'll receive your customized reading within 24 hours via email or Facebook Messenger. Now's the time to take that step towards deeper understanding. I cannot urge you enough to get a personalized astrology reading today. The cosmos has answers for you. Are you ready to hear them?